Hi everyone, my name's Jay. Welcome to another pirate in training video. Arrgh. Now, first a word of thanks. Thank you for everyone that's been viewing the videos so far. Thank you for those that have subscribed. Thank you that have sent messages of support, asked questions. Basically, thank you. It really has blown me away and humbled me how much love there is out there. Yeah. Okay, enough with the gooey stuff. So, today I wanted to touch on how I manage my pain. Now, for a long time, for many years, my pain was managed by the wonderful people in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, disclaimer. I am not a pain specialist. I am not trained in any type of medicine. I do not proclaim to be. I only know about my life, my experience, my pain. I don't proclaim to know your experience, your life and your pain. I encourage discussion. I encourage people to share their experiences. And this is mine. 52 tablets a day. Think of that. 52 every single day in 4-hour increments. Plus 2 injections. Sorry, I forgot about that. Plus having a line coming out of your armpit where you're having antibiotics injected into your system. That was me at my worst. That was the worst scenario for me out of this whole 4/5 year shit show. October last year I decided to stop taking all of it apart from antibiotics and the tablets to help treat my type 2 diabetes. All the opiate based pain relief, or pain relief in general, gone. Do not take them. Do not miss them. Miss their effects. Don't miss their side effects. And that's a key element to this. Now, if anyone experiences this kind of a similar thing, let me know. Please let me know below. You go to a doctor, you say, I have a problem, I'm feeling pain, ow. And the doctor then gives you once over, does ask you a few questions, so on and so forth, and we'll either do one of two things. They'll either send you off to have some sort of diagnostic check, or, and in my experience, more often than not, you'll walk away with a prescription for something to try and see if that alleviates the pain. You'll then go back and then say, well, either the pain's great, it's been managed now, thank you very much, or you'll go, well, actually, it's okay for the pain, but I've noticed that since taking this, now this happens. And the doctor goes, well, that is a known side effect of that drug. And what we could do is we could up the actual amount of drugs that we're giving you and also slot this guy in with it. And because obviously you're a patient, you go, okay, no worries. And it goes on. So what happens is this is your optimum level. So you want your level to be up here or as close to there as humanly possible. And then you go up to there and then something else comes down from there to here. And then you have to take something else. And then by doing that, they may well bring that down. Or it may make things worse. So it's like... remember that game where you had to try and guess the combination? Code breakers or something? I can't remember what it was called. You had somebody would pick 5 colours and keep it, and you would guess, and then they would tell you how many were right and how many wrong. It's kind of like that, but with your life. So I was, even on all those tablets, I was on paracetamol, pregabalin, amitriptyline, codeine. And the most you could take of codeine, tramadol, the most you could take. Whenever I used to get a prescription, the pharmacist used to have to ring the hospital because they didn't believe the amount that I was taking. And you'd think, well, how do you function on that? Not very well. In actual fact, they were just basically the pills. It was like if Morpheus went on, you're either going to take the blue pill and you're going to break through reality, or you're going to take these 13 pills and I'll see you next Tuesday. That's literally what it was like. Every time I would kind of clamber out of consciousness, it'd be like, oh, it's pill time, and then you go back down again. Real talk? You want real talk? I'll give you real talk. I cannot count the amount of times that I almost choked on my own vomit whilst taking painkillers. Now, I also have a gastric sleeve. Now, gastric sleeve makes your tummy, which I say my tummy, if we're talking about my tummy, you can't, I don't have a wide enough lens to explain how big my tummy was, but say your tummy's like this. When you have a gastric surgery or gastric sleeve, it makes it like a sausage. So a thin sausage. So what happens is it takes a long time for food to pass through that system, but very easy for it to fill up. So what I've learnt over years of having this surgery is basically you get a feeling. And when I get a certain feeling, you have to put that knife and fork down and walk away. Because otherwise, it's just going to creep up and the food's going to sit here. And then you're going to play Russian roulette. And your brain is going to go, you have one of two options. Suffer or vomit. Now I've learnt, through someone who hated vomiting, that vomiting is the only viable solution to that problem. So, imagine you've eaten your meal, and you generally, when you've eaten your meal, you will then take your medication. So you take your medication, and you've eaten too much, or slightly too much, or sometimes you've eaten just fine. Just the type of food you've eaten is too dense or whatever. And then you go unconscious because you're on these painkillers. Your body will just try and reject. The amount of times my wife has woken up to the sound of me gargling or stopping breathing slightly is horrible. It actually makes me upset to know that Nicola has had to live through that. I was also a complete dick on painkillers. I was horrible to my friends, I was horrible to my wife, I was horrible to my kids. Half the time, I shit you not, I used to hear this all the time and go, whatever. I didn't know. I had no recollection. Ask my wife. Ask my wife. She will tell you. I was a completely different person half the time. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And that hurts. That really hurts me. So I took the decision that I would rather be in more pain, because let's not get it twisted. No painkillers means more pain. But I was prepared to live through that. And the way my mind works, because I'm a stubborn, pig-headed Leo, I've decided that the pain is what is the reminder for me not to take the painkillers. Even though it sucks, don't get me wrong, this is not a perfect storm. This is by no way means is this the greatest thing in the world. Don't take your painkillers. It'll hurt. But you'll be a good person. No. It just means that the side effects to all this are not worth the fact that I feel less pain. I would rather be a husband, a father, a friend. I would rather be coherent. I would rather not choke on my own vomit. I would rather to be able to go to the toilet whenever I chose and not have to take other medication, because the amount of codeine based medication means that you're backed up and you can't go to the toilet properly without the intervention of it. Anyway, I'm being silly with it, but it's the only way. Again, it's part of it. Maybe because I have the personality that I have, that I can laugh at darkness and I don't take myself entirely too seriously. Maybe that helps me get through it as well. And I'm not telling you that you cannot take, that you can't do this. You can, but you have to do it completely customized to your situation, your mindset, your friends, your family. My way of doing it is definitely not the way that you should do it. For 99% of you out there. Really isn't. Because I'm unfortunately the person that will decide to do it whether you like it or not. But I'm here. And like I said in my last video, it was confirmed that the surgery is going to take place on the 3rd of February. I got the letter yesterday confirming I've got pre-op pre-op appointments on the 25th. It's actually going to happen. And the last video, I seemed a bit down. And it wasn't that I wasn't happy. It's just a very mixed emotion. You're really super happy because this thing that you've been asking for so long is actually going to happen. But you hate the fact that the only reason why they accepted is because you are seen to be going downhill again. Your foot is not stable. Your foot is not... So we've decided we're now going to do it. So yes, I was upset. I was down in the last video, but it was simply because it was a big thing. It's a big thing for anybody. And it upsets me as well because I know that there's some people out there that don't get to elect to have their problem removed. Or again, it's almost a side effect. It's not a case of having my problem removed because there's going to be a whole shit ton of side effects to having no leg, believe you me. It's not like they just strap it on and go, "See you, Mr. Bradbury Halls. Thank you for popping by. Don't run too fast." It's not like that. There are months and months and months of rehabilitation. There's the possibility. This is something that I haven't really touched on. Because of the problem that has affected both my feet, it's not just the right foot. It just so happens that that one's charcoed and deformed and broke and this, that and the other. My left foot is not 100%. I have barely any of my fifth metatarsal at all because it dissolved through infection. There is a real possibility that I may become a double amputee. To me, it's worth it. The side effects are not... I'm talking about longevity here. I'm talking about not existing in my front room and running out of things to look at on the internet or watch on TV because basically walking is... I'm allergic to putting pressure or weight on my foot of any description. So it's either I continue to be in pain and probably be wheelchair bound, or I make a clean break, excuse the pun, and we have a real fucking dig at this life. I think that's worth. I 100% stand by. I wouldn't change a thing in my decision making or anything else. The only thing I am certain of is that I am going to make this work no matter what. I can still be a dad, a husband, a friend, whether I have one leg, no legs, one arm, no arms. The two most important things is here and what's in the centre of your chest. They're the things that dictate whether you are living or not. Everything else is adaptable. And I don't mean it to sound flippant, and apologies if anyone takes offence to that statement, because I know there are people that are in a million times worse situations than I am. But to me, this is an adaptable circumstance. This is not something that's going to define me. I'm going to define what happens to me now, moving forward. It just means that, unfortunately, unlike the Marines, some people are going to, or some things are going to get left behind. That's all I have to say. See you next time.